Unlike some visa procedures where the applicant is the petitioner, in case of the O-1 visa, the candidate cannot also be the petitioner. A sponsor is required to petition on behalf of the candidate. Various individuals and entities, including U.S.-based employers, agents, managers, sponsors, presenters, and organizers, can submit O-1 petitions. Let's explore some of these options in more details. Using your employer as a petitioner. Typically, an employer petitioner is a single entity that submits a petition on the beneficiary's behalf. In this case, the beneficiary is bound to work exclusively for that specific employer during the O-1 visa's validity period. If your employer directly files your petition, remember that your work is limited to that specific entity. Using your own company, employer, as a petitioner. You can apply for an O-1 visa even without a job offer. One way to do this is by creating a company to petition on your behalf and establishing a formal employee-employer relationship. This last part is very important, so let's understand what it means. According to the August 2010 Neufeld memo, if you have no authority to dismiss yourself and cannot be terminated by anyone else, you cannot be considered an employee and cannot use your company as your petitioner. This can pose a challenge if you are the company owner, sole stockholder, or own the majority of a company, because it may be difficult to prove that others have the power to make decisions regarding hiring, firing, payment, and others. The issue can be solved by establishing a board of directors. The board's independence and its ability to make decisions in the company's best interest allows you to use your company as a petitioner for your O-1 visa application. It is important to understand the employee-employer relationship when applying for an O-1 visa. The USCIS aims to prevent misuse of the O-1 visa and therefore needs to ensure that the visa holder has confirmed employment in the U.S. While you can establish your own company as a sole employee, others in the company, such as a board of directors, must have control over your work conditions. Using an agent as a petitioner. As per the USCIS, a U.S. agent can be your actual employer or a representative of you and the employer or a person or entity authorized by the employer to act as its agent. Hence, in this case, an agent could be a U.S. company, a U.S. citizen, or a green card holder, with a minimum validity of 6 months. Having an agent petitioner allows you to work with multiple employers during your O-1 visa validity period, providing more flexibility and the ability to take on additional projects during your visa term. Please remember, this approach requires specific attention to your petition language. Ensure your visa petition explicitly includes the ability to take on projects not initially outlined in the original petition. This becomes relevant if you find employment opportunities after obtaining your O-1 visa. Your new employer may need your petitioner to sign an authorization, allowing you to work under your existing visa for the new projects. We'll get into the differences and requirements for each option later in subsequent videos. Stay tuned. Now, let's talk about the difference between petitioner and employer is crucial for a smooth O-1 visa application process. Here are some key distinctions between petitioner or sponsor versus employer. The first, terms. The terms petitioner and sponsor are often used interchangeably, but they might not be the actual employer providing the job. Second, responsibilities. The petitioner and sponsor are responsible for starting and supporting the visa application. The employer, in contrast, is focusing on providing the job and fulfilling contractual obligations. Finally, forms and documentation. The petitioner files Form I-129 and submits the supporting documents. The employer provides specific job-related details and information about the employment relationship. Furthermore, when you think of a petitioner, understanding the difference between employer and agent as types of petitioners is also crucial. The employer petitioner acts as both the petitioner and the employer. This means the beneficiary is tied to one employer throughout the O-1 visa validity period. An employment agreement, signed by both parties, is required to file the O-1 visa. The agent petitioner, on the other hand, acts as the petitioner and can also act as the employer. This allows the beneficiary to work for multiple employers at the same time. Essential documentation includes an agent agreement, multiple work contracts or letters of intent, and a detailed itinerary outlining all planned future employment engagements. Congratulations! That's the end of one more lesson. Let's summarize what we learned. You can use your employer, your own company, or agent as a petitioner. USCIS aims to prevent misuse of the O-1 visa, which is meant to bring individuals with extraordinary abilities into the U.S. rather than as an immigration loophole. Thus, establishing a genuine employer-employee relationship is crucial.